The women's changing rooms. First door on the left. You're welcome to come in. You would not want to miss this. Hosted by Ginette and Donessa.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Women's Changing Room. I am Donessa.
And I'm Ginette. Yes, welcome, guys, to the Women's Changing Room, where all is stripped bare. We transverse the globe, where we uplift and empower our women. So, Donessa, what do you have for us today?
So we have a dilemma, and we know dilemma week was last week, but we got this dilemma and we decided that we are going to discuss this topic and this dilemma in one, right? Yeah. So are we ready to hear the dilemma?
Yes, let's hear it.
It says, "Hi, girls. Hey, I am a regular listener of your podcast and wants to share my dilemma with you. I recently need y'all's help. My name is Sarah." Oh, should we read the name? I said it. Okay. There's a lot of Sarahs out there. We don't know who we're talking about. My name is Sarah, and I recently found out that I am pregnant. I am only 15 years old, and I am freaking out. I told my boyfriend, and he said I should get rid of it because we cannot care for a child at this time. I'm afraid to tell my mom. My mom was a teen mom and always stressed. She doesn't want this for me. What should I do? I am afraid. So that's the dilemma.
Okay. I would start off by saying, tell your mum.
Yeah.
Regardless, tell your mum. There's like no one who could guide you better than your mum. And the fact that she's, even though she didn't want it for you, and she may be disappointed. Yes, and because obviously, you know, she wants more for you, but tell her, she'll be able to advise you more. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think you could work through you. She'll be able to guide you, advise you and stuff, and let your mum know what your wishes are. And it will be confusing. Like whether you'd want to keep the baby, if you don't, you know, but I strongly believe you should go and speak to your mum. Don't go behind your mum's back and do anything in regards to this situation, because there's loads of health risks to you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how far gone you are as well, so you didn't say that. So I would strongly advise to speak to your mum. If you can't speak to your mum and you're scared to speak to another adult that you're close to, maybe your aunt or your mum's friend or someone. Mm-hmm. But I would advise you just to speak to your mum in regards to it.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Ginette, because moms have a way of finding out things, and it is best if she hears it from you versus seeing the difference in your body or hearing it from outside people. So I definitely and strongly suggest that you speak to mom. She didn't want this for you because she herself went through it and she know what it is like. It doesn't, how the dilemma sounds is like dad is not in the picture even up to this day. So that's who you have. You have your mom. She may be disappointed. She may be in her feelings for now, but she has every right to be, because she tried to put you on that path, and circumstances, whatever happened, it happened already. So it may be hard. But just go to her, let her know it is serious, you have something to tell her, and the decision is yours. So whether you decide to keep it or not, it is yours. I don't want to give my 2 cents on it as yet, because we are going to discuss it based on different points, but that is my advice to you. Go to mommy. She's who you have. And as Ginette said, maybe you're not ready to go to mommy, but I would strongly advise go to mommy. If not, go to a counselor or some adult who you trust and you think will give you the best decision. But I wouldn't even take, if they say to do this or to do that, I would even take it wholesome, I would still talk to mommy about it. And that's what I have.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And going on to your boyfriend, he's saying to you, I'm assuming he might be the same age as you as well, 15. Well, and well, I hope he is around the same age. In terms of like, if it was anyone older, I wouldn't want anyone to be taking advantage of you in that sense. So it's an easier route for him, isn't it? I mean, just to get rid of it and stuff. It's your body, so you need to like know how it's going to impact your body and you psychologically, because this will be with you for the rest of your life. Exactly. So where with him may not be, because he's quick to say, you can't deal with it at this time, which by right you wouldn't be able to, but you are always grown up to know. And that's the thing, because you guys want to do adult activities, but you're not mentally prepared for the consequences, because look at what you've got yourself into.
Exactly.
So you're doing things and not thinking about long-term consequences. Like, don't know if you guys, well, clearly not using protection, and you got yourself into this. So I would say speak to your boyfriend and see what if he's still adamant, oh, he doesn't want it and things like that, then just go to your, well, I'm saying go to your mum anyway, but yeah, I think you should speak to him. But if you need to know what's right for yourself. That's my take on that, really.
Yeah, it is very tricky because most guys, and she's 15, so I was saying the same thing, maybe they're around the same age, and he's right, they're not ready, but they don't see it as okay in the women's perspective, because it's her body. She's gonna do that. This is gonna follow her. As I say, most young relationship like this don't last anyway. So he's gonna go on with different women, and she is gonna go on, and she's gonna have that in the back of her mind if she decides to, about the child. She would always think about that, about the possibility of her child that happened when she was 15. And then, or if she decides to keep it, then maybe you would end up being a single teen mom. And you have to juggle that also. So it's always harder on the women rather than the men, which is baffling, but that is how it is right now in society. And we have a saying here in Grenada where we say, once you're in the fire, you must get burned. So once you're doing adult activities, there are consequences for it. And you're so young, and probably you're not even thinking about that. Maybe you were pressured, maybe you wanted to do it, whatever the reason is, you're in this situation right now, and you need to get things sorted and not go back to thinking like how you were thinking before and doing all of these things. It is hard, but you're doing it right now, and it is time to get things going right for yourself, right? Yeah, I don't know if the guy he's gonna be one of the good guys. Maybe he got the news and that's the first thing that popped in his head. So I agree, go talk to him, find out if he really wants you to do that. You're not going to him because you for yourself want to do whatever he is saying, but go to him and find out where his head is at. So know right now that if he decide, okay, I'm with you, I'm going to involve my parents in this, or my parents, I don't know, because we didn't get much information about him, but if he decides, okay, this is what I'm going to do and do the right thing, then you have somebody there in your corner, whether or not y'all work out in the end. At least the dad will be present. And then on the contrary, if he decide, okay, I don't want to have anything to do with you, then okay, this is how you need to move forward. So talking to people and talking to him would help you in going forward.
Yeah, most definitely. And I would just like to highlight as well, like, it's not easy going to say, like, saying, oh yeah, I'm just going to go and get rid, because the effects it can have on your body long term after that, you don't even know how it would affect you in having kids
Exactly.
in the future.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, I really, really think you need to think about what you're doing. Either way, it's a hard situation to be in.
Yeah.
And going forward, having a child at a young age, yeah, it's not ideal. Definitely not ideal. However, it would be a struggle, as no matter what age, it's a struggle having children, But being a young mum is going to be hard. But that doesn't say that your life is completely over having a child. You could still go and finish your education. You could still go and get your a job. The only thing is maybe you won't be able to go, well, you wouldn't be able to just get up and go and hang out with friends and stuff unless your mum is willing to hold the child. But I just feel like you need to be responsible in that. Not saying that now and then your mum can't hold your child for you and stuff. Yeah, that's fine, but you need to face up to responsibilities. That is your child and you're the one that needs to look after it. And yeah, so I would say it will be hard, but you could still, like I said, go and finish your education, go and get a job. It'll be more challenging than when you're single, meaning without a child. But you could still do whatever dreams that you've got for yourself.
Yeah.
In terms of the situation. I'm not saying, oh yes, so for teen mums and with girls going to have babies at a young age. No, I'm not. But as you're in this situation, I'm just letting you know there is still a way for you to, follow your dreams in terms of, in some aspects. It may be very limited, but you can work towards doing something like getting a job, a good job, but it has to be around your child, So,
yeah. And you're so right. Everything is going to change, give a direct 360 right now. No matter what decision that you make, is going to change everything. And Ginette, you're so correct. I am not for teenage pregnancy and children taking part in adult activities. I am not for it. However, I am also not for abortion. And I know this is a controversial topic. And I'm not saying that if we have, say, a rape victim, I won't tell them to carry a child. But in cases like this, I am not for abortion at all. So that's only me. I have never been in the situation, and I'm just talking based on me and what I have up here. I am not for it. It's going to be hard because I've seen it happen. It didn't happen to me, but I've seen it happen to close friends or people that I know. And it's not easy. It's challenging. However, some rose above everything and conquered different things. And I had a best friend happened to. So maybe that could be a little story. I had a best friend. We were going to Form 5, so the last form in secondary school. And it was 7 of us in this group. We were called the 7 Heavens. And one of our friends, she got pregnant. And so we are all there waiting in school for everybody to show up, but she would not show up. Then we found out from a teacher, well, the counselor actually told us that she's not coming. because she's with child. And
wow.
it was devastating. I remember crying my eyeballs out as if
Oh,
we were all the first day of school. You know, the first day of school, we all pumped and ready. It's the
yeah.
first day of school for our last year, and she wasn't there, so we were all devastated.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was crazy. So people are gonna be devastated around you.
Form five. How old? What age is that? Form five.
Uh, 15, 16,
15.
some maybe 17, or
Okay.
18, it all depends. But I think she was 16. She was
Okay.
16. So it was hard for us and
Mm,
definitely hard for her. But what
mm,
helped her is having people around her who cared
mm.
and show her support, like us and like her family
Yeah.
members,
Yeah.
because she chose to speak up. So that's just something. That's just
And
one
how did
example.
she? If you don't, how is she doing now? Like.
She's doing great. She is engaged now. She
Mm,
has her second child. She fit well. So it has like a school here, and I'm doing air quotes because it's called parent something for adolescent mothers.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so right away when she found out, they enrolled
Mm,
her in that school, in that program, and she got to do CXCs, which is our
okay.
exam here. She got to do it the same year as us. So when we move on to college here, she was also at college. So she didn't give
Okay.
up. She
Yeah. Yeah.
continued, even if
Yeah.
it was something that wasn't planned. But she
Yeah.
continued, and yeah, she's doing great now.
And
So
that's the thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's one example, and that's a positive example
Mhm.
of how things are, and they're about the same age when that happened. So once you go for it and you don't give up,
Yeah.
it's gonna help. It may not seem like that right now, it may not, but it definitely pays off once you have a sound mind and you
Yeah.
have people
Yeah.
around you. Once you cut out the people who are negative
Mhm.
and all of that, the people who remain in your life there to help you, you have to have gratitude and show
Yeah.
them, and and it's gonna be fine. It's
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, that's the thing. You have to have a strong mentality. I
Mhm.
mean, going through the whole pregnancy stage is a challenge, okay? Mentally, your hormones are all over the place. Having a baby, at every stage, a child of from birth to probably 18,
Yeah.
it is something different. It's challenging, you know, from birth is that the child's crying,
Mhm.
toddlers, they start walking around, you're constantly behind them. They get to primary school, it's like another thing. So it's constant, but you just
Mhm.
have to have strong mentality, you
Mhm.
know, you have to remain strong
Yeah.
in terms of, especially if the dad chooses not to be around,
Oof.
you know, you need to just remain strong.
Yeah.
And you got this. I mean,
Mm.
you're not the first person this has happened to, and I'm sure you definitely not the last.
Exactly.
So you just need to speak to, like I said, speak to your mum. Um, and there's no better person to speak to because your mum's been through it.
Exactly.
So I'll say just definitely speak to your mum
Yeah.
in regards to it.
Yes, for sure. So what we have here, we gave her our advice.
Mm,
Now we have different things that we want to talk about when it comes to teenage pregnancy on a
mm,
whole. So what we have here is addressing the parents out there who may have a teenager who got pregnant, and how we handle things. Um, I am not a parent. I know that,
mm,
but I've been around people and parents and who went through this process, and it is always helpful, and it's hopeful for these teenagers to have um, adults in their life who,
yeah.
despite you may be disappointed and you
Mhm,
you may you may feel like you just want to give up on them and just kick them out and get them out of your life so you won't be the one ashamed, or people won't look at you like a bad mom or a bad dad. However, you never know what's going to happen to them when you do that. So they need you now more than ever. And it's not that they didn't listen to you when you were speaking to them. They were listening, but things happen. Things happen, and maybe it could just be the first time. We don't know, but I'm just talking based on what I know of people. Okay, parents out there, adults out there, guardians, family members, stick with them even if you're ashamed, even if it's going to be a hard pill to digest. Be there for them because they need you. They definitely.
Definitely a hard pill to swallow. Being a mum, you always want the best for your child, and totally opposite to what you've had. You want better. You know, you want everything for them. And when you envision something for your child and it goes in the opposite direction, you do feel like in despair. But like you said, don't give up on them. You know, do not give up on them. You just have to encourage them, get them on a straight path. And if that does happen, they do end up coming to you. You know, it is disappointing. I mean, a lot of people think about, oh, what others are going to say and this, that, and the other, and whatever. Other people, they will always talk, regardless. If it's not you, it's going to be about the next person. So just stick with your child, guide them in the right direction. If they want to keep the child or whatever, stick with them, help them. You know, that's the best thing that I could really say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's not only for the young ladies. I mean, the men too. I mean, it is specifically for the young ladies because they are the ones who are charged with the responsibility 99% of the time. But we're also speaking to the moms of the boys also.
Most definitely, yeah.
I mean, sometimes they don't even know because the boys just back out. But however, it is important because this responsibility is not only on the girl and her family, it's also on the boy and you guys as well. So all parties involved definitely need
most definitely. Because even women, like with their sons and stuff, the son will say, oh yeah, it's not mine, and then they'll believe it and then they'll go, like, you know what I mean? Mums, especially for boy mums, like definitely, like you have to make your son face the responsibilities, you know, for their actions, because if it's not this thing, it's going to be another thing, you know, and then they're going to back out and then it's going to be another thing, and then what? They're just helpless basically. So yeah, I believe boy mums, make them take responsibility, speak to them, and if they make sure they stick around, even if they're don't want to be with the girl, and make sure they play a part in the child's life, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, it is important. And we appealing to the boys. Both you are both young, especially for the teen pregnancy aspect of it. Both of you're young. Maybe you may be a bit older, maybe you may be younger. It doesn't matter. Boys, it is hard on the girls mentally, emotionally, physically. This is something that is new. Imagine if something happens to you, how you're going to be stressed out. Imagine 10 times that, how it is for her. We need to start educating these boys, these teenagers, of the consequences of their raging hormones and taking part in adult activities and understanding what can happen, and understand when it happened, it is not on the girl alone. but it's also on you, and you
Yeah.
now need to step up. As we say, it may not be that you guys stay together forever. We don't see that often, even if that will be something that is going to be amazing.
Mhm.
But be there for the child, because you don't want that child going through that. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's very loud outside. And because election is going on, it has a lot of vehicles passing with loudspeakers announcing things. And I'm hearing it very loud where I am in the house. So
I just heard it a little bit. I can't hear it now.
okay, yeah, but you were hearing it before?
I was, yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
just heard it just now. As you said it, because it sounded like it just went past, and as
Yeah.
you said it, I heard it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
can't
crazy.
hear
Yeah.
it again.
So if you're hearing that, guys, I apologize. And there's somebody, my neighbor is raking their yard. If you hear that, sorry.
It's okay. No,
Yeah. So people, boys, we are appealing to you. Be mature about this. It is not only on the girls, it's on you.
yeah. And as well, especially like, because there's men out there that take advantage of younger girls, and when they do get in that situation, they threaten them,
Yeah.
and oh, you know, in all different ways they threaten them, and not even just older guys, young boys will be like, oh, if you do this, I'm gonna say this about you, or I've got this video on you and I'm gonna share it, and so
Yeah.
that's a whole nother thing, and guys don't do that, men don't do that, and especially older men. I think that's another conversation to have, because
Getting
that great
involved with these young girls, and they have their family already.
yeah, absolutely ridiculous. So that's why I just feel women talk, even if they want to threaten you, talk to someone, seriously.
Don't go through it alone.
Yeah. And you can come to us, message us, and inbox, whatever. We'll do our best to help you regardless.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Prevention tips. So we have prevention tips. I mean, when I was in school, it always be abstain.
yeah.
Yes, abstinence is key, because definitely nothing can happen to you. If you don't play in that fire, nothing would happen to you. You know that. So abstinence is key. However, these young men and young women, we see time and time again, they just want to take part in these activities. It's just appealing to them, and they're all different. So while you may have a child who don't even care about these things, some parents have children that care. It's all the hormones and everything, how you make up. So we first have to know everybody is different. But what are some tips other than abstinence can we give them, the girls and the boys alike?
Oh God. It's like the basic tips, isn't it? Like they'll have, I'm sure they have it educated in that in school, so protect yourself.
Yeah.
First and foremost is to protect yourself. And whether it is girls, there's loads of things and it'll be very interesting as well, like in terms of like in Grenada what's available compared to here. There's like so much different pills, injections, implants, things like that for the young girls and stuff. So any of that, go to clinics and stuff and find out what's the best one for you. And if you feel like, oh, you can't take pills and stuff and you're gonna forget, get injection, get an implant put in, so that for sure that you're protected. That's my advice.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So here we have stuff. Okay, we have stuff. We have medical centers in different communities. So we have things that we get that are there. However, we have this thing where it's like the girls especially, they're afraid to go because in Grenada it's small, so people know people and people know people. So if they go in the medical center and they see somebody there, I don't know, it's just this. I'm not saying that it's happening. I'm just saying that there's this stigma there and you'll be afraid because my mom is well known. When I was younger, I go to town, whoever I talk to, by the time I get back home, my mother would know exactly where I was and who I was speaking to. You understand? Then I start up speaking to a boy, and somebody pass and they see me talking to that boy very long. My mother would find out about it. So it's like that with the people. They don't know what their parents gonna find out. While it is readily available, you can go, you can get birth control and all of that. But I don't want to be sitting here and saying young girls go but do birth controls, boys wrap it up, because I still believe in the abstinence. However, if you're not going to be abstain from these activities, it is best to protect yourself. And it's not only for teenage pregnancy, but STIs and STDs. These things are rampant. These things are out there. Educate yourselves and know what can happen to you. I think if we educate them and let them, not educate them in like, okay, there's sex ed or all of this, because when children go in that, they make fun of this and don't make it a big deal, but have it in a way where we can educate them and let them know, hey, this is serious, this is real. Because I remember health and family life in school, and the thing, teenage pregnancy didn't freak me out. What freaked me out was the STDs and STIs, the pictures that I'll see that I would like gross out. And that was something like me. I don't want this to happen to me because some of them don't have cures. So, so we have different things, but the most common ones are abstinence, wrap it up, use a condom, birth controls and different things like that for our girls. And so
it'll be very good. Maybe we should do like a little session, a one-off session on something like that.
Yeah.
With like teenagers. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe something we could think about and discuss.
Exactly. And as we wrap up with these prevention tips, if you don't educate yourself, young boys and young girls, or parents that are listening, if we don't educate them and let them know of the effects of their action, and not do it in a way to scare them, but do it in a way of teaching and educating them, the effects are terrible. And we know STDs and STIs are crazy, and we know pregnancy on a whole is a lot to go through.
And that as well, especially like in terms of the STDs, STIs. If you're getting involved in that kind of activities, I suggest you go to the clinic and get yourself checked out very, very regularly.
Exactly.
I don't know how it is, like you said, but that's the thing as well. It's like the scaredness of going. But we need, like, especially like in Grenada, because you said because they're scared because people but I think parents need to speak to their children. If you know that your child's involved in it, speak to them and let them know, you know, to do that.
Yeah,
it's so important. It's so important for them to like.
It's serious. Yeah. Don't wait until they get their periods to be like okay, let's talk about this and let's talk about that. No, educating them at a very young age, speaking to them openly. We tend to, especially, I don't know, I don't want to say lump all the Black people in one, but especially in Grenada, we have some people who don't speak to their children and wait until it is, you know, the time when the girls go through the change, or when the boys go through the change, we will give them this watered down education.
Something that's like just silly, like a silly little saying or whatever, and that's it. You know,
No,
it's,
it's
they
not.
don't go into deep depth
Exactly.
of the ins and outs of it all. So
Exactly. Exactly. So we need to educate them and let them know at a very young age as to what happened. It may be an uncomfortable conversation to have.
mm,
However,
mhm,
letting them know and showing them examples of it happening in the community, happening to
mhm,
people that you know, at least they'll
sorry.
see that. Yeah. So
Yeah, definitely.
it is hard. Sarah, I hope everything goes well. Keep us updated. If you need somebody to talk to, reach out to us, or if we have any people going through the same thing, and you just need another listening ear, reach out to us on the Women's Changing Room on Instagram or on Facebook, and we would be here to help you and to give you.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I hope the little advice that we've given you helped.
Mhm.
We both strongly agree that you should tell your mum. And yeah, like Donessa said, please update us. And we wish you all the best
Mhm.
with everything going forward.
Yeah, exactly. And we hope that this baby that you're gonna have is gonna be a blessing to you, most definitely.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
I'm sure it
hard.
would be. 'Cause all children are blessings, all
Yes.
babies
Oh,
are blessings.
yes.
Okay, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be challenging, but just
I
know
just
that
feel
little child is gonna be dependent on you
right.
to nurture them and be there for
Mhm.
them. And you can do it, girl. You can. You
You
can do
can
it.
do it.
And boys
Yeah,
out there, you can do it too.
mhm,
So yeah,
most definitely.
that's
So,
good.
guys, thank you all for watching, and
Yeah.
we'll see you again next week, Thursday.
Yes.
And until then, stay blessed
All right. And stay safe.
and
Bye
stay safe.
bye.
Bye, guys.